We met that dude, Duke the Jeweler, the night before. We was gambling. The next day, dude followed us to the concert. When we left out the concert, we under the garage. Dude went to his car by himself and walked down to the parking lot.
He's gonna be dropping.
Man, Lord.
He's gonna be mad.
That nigga gonna have to get their money back was however their money back. He said, but Lil Cam Wolf and Big Caprice are the three. I'm up, I got the next, and they passed the dice to each other, but they loaded, but they shooting against them up in town.
The whole drama around Duke the Jeweler's setup just took a wild turn. And now J. Prince Sr. is clapping back loud. For years, people were pointing fingers at Boosie, saying he set Duke up. They said Boosie lined him up to get robbed and gunned down. But Boosie's done playing the quiet game.
We met that dude, Duke the Jeweler, the night before. We was gambling. The next day, dude followed us to the concert. When we left out the concert, we under the garage. Dude went to his car by himself and walked down to the parking lot.
He's spilling names, throwing shots, and shifting the heat straight at mob ties. The internet's buzzing again, and the feds are already sniffing around. But the real question is, who was really pulling the strings that night?
Any real dude that's ever really been in LA, he checked in. Any real dude that's ever been in Atlanta, he checked in. If you moving and you getting money, you gonna check in because you need to know the right places to be and places not to be. That's a businessman.
Let's take it back. November 2022. Duke the Jeweler, only 29, gets slain right after leaving Boosie's concert in Houston. The cops called it a robbery, but the streets weren't buying it. Word started spreading that Boosie either set it up or knew exactly who did. People claimed the two men who jumped Duke weren't just some random stick-up crew. They were connected to Boosie, like real close, possibly even family. And once that rumor caught fire online, it was on.
Everybody be checking in. That's y'all favorite thing to do. Check in with somebody that's gonna rob your stupid ass.
Wow.
Yo, you think that guy, the guy that you don't know in California got your back?
Boosie stayed hush, but the streets, they were loud. Everyone thought he was the one behind it, for months. But now things are flipping. The heat's shifting away from Boosie and landing right on J. Prince Jr. The son of Houston's so-called hip-hop godfather has been lurking in the shadows all along. While Boosie caught all the blame, the real mastermind, he stayed low-key, playing the background calm and clean. But now the mask's coming off. The whole setup's looking way too polished, like it was planned from the jump, and people are starting to believe Boosie might have just been the scapegoat all along. Allegedly.
Situation that occurred that a certain jeweler around and got past the dice on accident and was hitting on them for a couple hundred because, right, boom. The only way they could get their money back was however their money back. Lil Cam Wolf and Big Caprice are the three designated to say I'm up, I got the next, and they passed the dice to each other, but they loaded, but they shooting against them up.
Why were people so quick to blame Boosie? Simple. He was there. He performed that night, allegedly the one who invited Duke. And then came the wild rumor that Duke's Louis Vuitton bag ended up inside Boosie's house. But none of that proves motive. It only shows he was around, not involved. And that's exactly what made him the perfect fall guy. See, the one who takes the fall is always the one already drowning in legal problems, and Boosie had a whole list. Gun charges, the Terry Boyd trial, and a bunch of old cases still tied to his name. The public already saw him as guilty. They just needed a story to stick to his name.
Prince, over the years, the decades of doing whatever he's doing, he's been having a way of brainwashing people.
Oh, yeah?
To thinking he's doing one thing when he really up to a next.
But now, Boosie's breaking his silence, and he's not holding back. He's calling out J. Prince Jr. by name. Said straight up, "Y'all tried to line me up." And Boosie says he barely even knew Duke. They only met at a dice game, and the next day, Duke pulls up solo to Boosie's concert. Hours later, boom, He's dead in a parking lot robbery? Nah, something's not right. Boosie's calling it what it really is. A setup. And now the streets are listening. Because here's the thing. Duke didn't get hit in Baton Rouge, Boosie's turf. He got slain in Houston. And guess who really holds power out there? Not Boosie. J. Prince Jr. Now even people from Houston are speaking out. One person posted, "If you from H-Town, you know what happened." Boosie had nothing to do with it. Another user straight up asked, "Why would Boosie set up a robbery in a city he ain't even from?" That's reckless. People are tired of the false narratives. Someone else fired directly at J. Prince Jr. saying, "Boosie didn't have anything to do with that man's death. Look at J. Prince Jr." And get this, who was sitting at that dice table too? J. Prince Jr. himself. The same guy who's allegedly been running that whole check-in culture in Houston like a boss. Sources been saying it loud. If you're an artist, a rapper, influencer, whatever, you don't step foot in H-Town without checking in with the princes. That's how it goes. And guess what? Duke did check in and still got taken out. That ain't just shady. That's straight up predatory. Because this whole check-in game, it ain't about safety. It's about control. It's not protection. It's power moves behind the scenes. Look at Takeoff. He checked in too and still got lined up. And it ain't just H-Town. Word is Big U been doing the same exact thing out west, allegedly forcing artists to check in or risk getting robbed, or worse. Even rappers like PNB Rock.
These street homie, they're projecting these rules and then coming here playing like they admirable men with street rules and street that shit. Nah, homie, them look was set up that night.
Allegedly checked in and still ended up gone. It's the same playbook. Schoolboy Q even said it best himself. These rappers are getting robbed by the very same folks they check in with. This ain't safety, it's straight up extortion, just with a fake smile slapped on it. So when Duke the Jeweler got murked, the whole internet started calling it out. The setup was too obvious. That dice game, it wasn't just sketchy, it turned fatal. And Boosie, he was never running anything. He was just the bait. Then it got really wild when Whack 100 stepped in. Loud, raw, and straight to the point. No filters, no sugarcoating. Whack said the whole thing was a setup. He said Duke didn't get robbed. He got lined up. And the crew behind it? According to Whack, it was J. Prince Jr.'s squad.
Eric Jr. was the father, and after your mom did her due diligence, what was your thoughts?
I think that this girl that had the baby, I think she used to work around Junior. So I believe bro bumped into her around Junior, you know what I'm saying?
Lil Cam and a tight circle who were allegedly running that dice game like a rigged casino, where the house always wins unless someone messes up. And Duke messed up with his life. Whack didn't hold back. He said J. Prince been faking the protector role for years while secretly pulling strings and trapping folks behind the scenes. And it wasn't just Whack talking either. Charleston White spoke up too. He said Duke's death hit different because it could have been avoided. He called out mob ties straight up, saying they built a system in Houston that ain't just dangerous. It's deadly. Artists check in thinking they're safe, but they're walking into setups, surrounded by snakes in disguise. Charleston said Duke didn't die because he disrespected anyone. He died because he trusted the wrong crew. He got played. Not out of arrogance, but out of pure naivety. And Charleston White wasn't done, not even close. He went off on the whole industry, said this ain't protection, it's straight up extortion dressed up in chains and fake loyalty. He exposed the unspoken code of silence, where staying quiet equals staying alive. And when it came to Duke, Charleston said that wasn't no random hit. He called it a ritual, a warning dressed as a robbery. And then 50 Cent stepped in. He didn't say much, but the little he did say, man, it spoke volumes. He started reposting cryptic clips, dropping captions that had folks reading between the lines. Nothing loud, just enough to make people go, wait, is he siding with Boosie?
We supposed to be dropping.
Man, Lord.
We supposed to be mad.
And that's when the internet really started watching. But what blew it wide open? The finesse 2 times drama. That one sent everything spinning. Word on the street is J. Prince Jr. allegedly got Finesse's girl pregnant, behind his back. And Finesse, he didn't keep it quiet. He let it all out. And guess who stayed silent through it all? J. Prince Jr. Not a single word to shut it down. Nothing. Just silence. And that silence? It's screaming louder than any denial ever could. Finesse used to praise mob ties heavy now. He don't even mention them. The loyalty's gone. He ghosted them completely. The vibe's off. That bond, dead. Now fans are seeing it clear as day. First Takeoff's tragic death, then Boosie's public call-out. Now this fallout with Finesse 2 times. And the same name keeps popping up over and over. J. Prince Jr. The internet ain't quiet anymore. The silence that once kept the truth buried, it's cracking wide open. One user wrote, J. Prince has set up so many people and had several folks knocked. Another said flat out, it wasn't Boosie. J. Prince took him out. And let's not forget, Duke the Jeweler wasn't just some flashy dude with a chain. He was a self-made king from Chicago. No industry handouts, no label cosigns, just straight hustle and undeniable skill. He started in the early 2000s, sketching custom pieces in a tight little studio, turning nothing into gold. Before long, his one-of-one designs had the big names calling. Vogue, LA Fashion, Rihanna, King Von, 50 Cent. Even Boosie rocked his pieces. This man wasn't just a jeweler. He was art on skin. And someone didn't like that shine.
He walked into his car or something, and some dude tried to rob him. Some dudes tried to rob him. I had just met dude yesterday. We was in a garage. He must have walked outside to the parking lot. We was in a garage. We heard this shit.
Duke's designs weren't just flashy. They were legendary, pure legacy pieces. And that's exactly what made him a threat. His stock shot up fast. And in this industry, when real power meets real independence, somebody always feels shaken. Duke didn't just stumble into the wrong room. He walked straight into a lion's den wearing gold, trusting smiles that hid sharp teeth, shaking hands that were already plotting behind his back. That room, a high-stakes dice game reportedly hosted by J. Prince Jr. Sources say Duke was on fire that night, ran up $100,000 at the table. He was winning big, but that win might have been his final move. Right after the game, he got stripped of his chains, his money, even his phone. Then he got shot, not once, but multiple times. That wasn't no random robbery. That felt personal, like somebody wanted Duke gone. In the game, it's still hurting. The industry ain't healed. Duke's homicide shook people differently. This wasn't a simple stick-up. This felt like a cold, calculated hit, an execution made to look like chaos. Now Boosie's out here fighting to clear his name, swearing up and down he had nothing to do with it. And when footage dropped showing his reaction to Duke's death, he looked wrecked. Couldn't even speak, it just sat there stunned, like he truly didn't see it coming. And maybe, just maybe, he really didn't. But here comes J. Prince Sr., now firing back. He's trying to flip the narrative, throwing shade, claiming he's not the villain.
About him, he's a clown. Like, I love the hip-hop culture. I'm in love with the hip-hop culture. Blood, sweat, and tears went in my movement for the hip-hop culture.
But Boosie's not holding back either. He's calling J. Prince Sr., the one lining folks up. Still, the streets ain't buying the deflection. Too many dots are connecting. Takeoff got taken out in that same city. And let's not forget, the coroner's report said he was hit multiple times, head and torso. That ain't no stray bullet like the investigators tried to claim. That sounds targeted. That sounds like a plan. And now J. Prince Sr. is clapping back at Whack 100 for backing Boosie's claims, calling him a clown, saying he's too loud, trying to discredit him any way he can. But the streets ain't buying that. Folks are saying he's just dodging the real smoke, trying to shift the spotlight off himself before things blow up even more. Because this ain't just about Boosie, and it sure ain't just about Duke. This runs way deeper. It's about a system that's been built off fear, silence, and fake promises of protection. It's about how power gets abused, how artists are forced to check in just to walk through a city they don't even run. And the scariest part, even a self-made boss like Duke, who built everything from scratch, grinding from a small studio to iced-out chains for the biggest names in the game, still wasn't safe when he stepped into the wrong circle. Duke's death didn't just shake the jewelry world. It exposed something ugly. It cracked the surface of how dirty the industry really is. Boosie says he was just the bait. Finesse 2 times walked away. Takeoff checked in. And still got dropped. Now J. Prince Sr., he's scrambling to control the narrative. But if this is only the beginning, who's next to speak out? Or worse, who's next to vanish? Make sure to drop a comment. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with everyone who needs to hear the truth. See you on the next one.